So in this session, we will continue with the cryptography and we will continue with this digital signatures. So what are digital signatures? They're like a secure way of sending an important message or file. So they have two main purpose. First, they will provide authenticity and non-repudiation, and second, they will provide integrity. Right. So how they will provide authenticity and non-repudiation? So we will use asymmetric encryption plus that digital signatures together for using the non-repudiation like concept. So sorry, non-repudiation is like a concept where we are ensuring that the sender really sends the message. Okay, and authenticity is like we are ensuring that the person is really authentic to access these resources or to access the message, etc., or to access the data. And integrity is like we are ensuring that no one can modify our data. So in the in the digital signatures, we are ensuring that when you send a signed message, the receiver now knows that it is really from you. Okay, and so this is how we are like ensuring the non-repudiation. Okay, and also we are ensuring authenticity, which is like we are like ensuring that the sender really sends the message. Okay, or the user which is claiming to be that any user, let's say I am claiming to be admin, right? So if I am claiming to be admin, so I am now like signing the user, like signing the whatever the data or mail is using my public key. Okay, that is the concept of digital signatures. So overall, we are ensuring that authenticity, non-repudiation, and integrity must be maintained. So how we are ensuring the message integrity, which is like the receiver can be sure that the message wasn't changed during the journey. Okay, so that we will discuss like how we are ensuring the integrity and how we are ensuring the non-repudiation. So how basically it works. So let's say we have a let's say we have a sender, Alice. Now Alice has a special message and it picks a strong code, making a tool called a hashing algorithm. Okay, like for example, let's say we have a user, Alice, and we have a second user, which is Bob. And second we have Bob. Now Alice has a special message, let's say hello. Okay, and he or she she picks up like a strong algorithm which is SHA-512, SHA-3-512. So it is a very strong algorithm. So the Alice is like encrypting or generating the hash of this hello using this algorithm. Okay. Then we have she turns her message into a unique code fingerprinting using the hashing tool. Okay, which is like we have encrypted the data and we have a hashing algorithm with that. So whatever the length of your message is, whatever the length of your data is, we must have the fixed length of hash. Then she locks the this fingerprint, and with her secret key like a password only she knows. Okay, which is like now let's say we have this hello. Now the Alice locks, which is like lock this message with its own private key. Okay, and then she sends the log message to the Bob. Now at receiver side, the Bob will get the message and the log fingerprint. Okay. Now he will use Alice public key for a different kind of key to unlock the fingerprint, which means the Alice is using its own private key for for putting the lock on that fingerprint, right? Then he uses the same tool as Alice, which is SHA-3-512 for generating the hash. Okay, let's say we have this hello message and we have the hash of this hello message. Now Bob will also generate the hash of this message and he will compare the hash from the hash which he get. Okay, like the hash which he get from the user A and also the hash which he generated by itself. If both hashes are matched, then we can say there's an integrity here. And if there's a difference in the hashes, like if any character of the hashes are different, then we can say that there's a change in the like data in the middle. Okay, like there's no integrity here. Means someone has modified the data. So he uses the Alice public key, a different kind of key to unlock the fingerprint. Now he uses the same tool Alice used to make the fingerprint of the received message, which is SHA-3512. If his unlocked fingerprint matches the ones he make himself, he knows that the message is really from the Alice and hasn't changed, which means he will compare the hashes. If the hash is like same, then he will conclude that the message is really from the Alice and no one is modified in the middle. If the hash is different, the hash which is generated by the Bob and the hash which he get from the user A, which is Alice, if that hashes are different, then we can say there's a like difference in the or there's a modification made in the data in the middle. Okay, so this is how we can like ensure the digital signatures. So DS are used for not just for messages but also to prove the authenticity of downloaded software. For example, we have like many software which generate the certifications. So they are like if any application of if any software are trusted, okay, like if they come from the trusted source, then we have a trusted certification, and then we can put that trusted certificate, let's say in the browser or let's say anywhere, so that we can use the verified application. So the that DS also comes like also proof or checks the authenticity of any application. They don't make messages private, just trusted and unaltered. But if Alice wanted, she could also use Bob's public key to lock the whole message for extra privacy. Okay, so that is like we are not encrypting here, we are just generating the hash and we are locking the hash. Okay, means we have a hash. Let's say we have the hash of this hello. So we have this hash and then we are again hashing, like we are again locking this hash with the receivers with the sender's uh, private key. Okay, private key. Which means if Alice is sending the message to Bob and we have this hello message, now the Alice, we have this hello message, we have any data, any file also. Now we have this hash, we have the hash of this message. Now the Alice lock this hash using using the that its own private key. Okay, and share it to the Bob. Now Bob will first unlock this using the Alice public key, and second, it will also after unlocking. So after unlocking, the Bob will get the hash. Okay. Now then Bob will generate the hash of the message, and then he will match the hash with the hash that the Alice received. Sorry, the Bob received, and the hash that the Bob generated. If the hash matches, then we can say there's no alteration, and if the hash doesn't match, then we can say there's no like no one has modified the data over the hash or anything. And we can also ensure that the data is really from the Alice only. Okay. Then we have HMAC, which is Hashed Message Authentication Code. So it is also like a digital lock that ensures a message safety while traveling, but doesn't guarantee who sent. Means we cannot ensure a non-repudiation. Okay. So we cannot ensure non-repudiation. No, it ensures the message integrity. So hashed message authentication code. So it's like a secure seal on a package. So if we have let's say we have this hash. HMAC guarantees that a message hasn't been messed with during its journey. So for example, let's say we have this message, any kind of message, and we will generate a hash of this message. Okay, so and we will transfer this hash with the message at the receiver side. The receiver matches the hash which he have received. Okay, and also generate its own hash. Okay, with the same tool. Let's say SHA-1, SHA-2, or whatever the sender is using. And if the hash is matches, then we can see there's no alteration. Then we have shared secret key. So HMAC uses a special key that only the sender and receiver lock. This key is used to create and check the lock. Okay, which is like we have a special key that only the sender and receiver knows. Okay, and this is what used to create and check the locks. It can be any key, any algorithm you can take. Okay, now we cannot achieve the non-reputation because we cannot ensure that the Alice really sends the message. We are not ensuring here. Okay, so we are not achieving the full digital signatures here. Then we can combining the algorithm. Now HMAC can use a regular message fingerprint tool, which is algorithm like SHA-3, SHA-1, or whatever the algorithm, along with the shared secret key. This makes you sure only people with a key can create or check the logs, which is like
Ma'am,
we are ensuring
hello?
hybrid algorithm. Yes.
Yeah. Ma'am, in that above method, how we are ensuring that all is send a message with that public and private key, right?
Which
In
one?
that first method.
Method? This one
Go
method.
above, here.
No, we are ensuring this with the help of the hash, and second with the help of the log. Like we have
Log,
also
okay.
converted the hash. Let's say we have a hash. Let's say we have a hello. So we have
Yeah,
the
that I
hash of
understood.
this.
That I clearly understood. But what is the difference between this one and HMAC? Only that
Oh,
who sent a message that we don't know.
okay. In this first method, we are ensuring that non-reputation is like we are ensuring the non-reputation. Why? Locking the message. Okay. But
Okay.
in HMAC, we are not locking any message. We are just generating the hash and we are just transferring the hash. That's it. In the
Okay.
first one, in the first method, we have the hash, and now we have locked that hash. We have locked that hash with the sorry, with the sender's private key.
Private key.
Now
Okay.
with the sender's private key, right? Now at the receiver side. Now how the receiver unlock this hash first?
With the
Okay,
public key,
here
right?
to just unlock the hash,
Mm.
which is the now the receiver unlocked with the help of the sender's public key. So now here we are ensuring now if the sender really sends the message, so we can use its public key to unlock the message, and it will unlock because we are using the public key of the sender. So if the sender really sends the message and lock the hash with its own private key, then we can easily unlock with its own public key, with the sender's public key. So here we are ensuring if we able to unlock, then we can say yeah, the sender really sends the message. If we unable to unlock, then we can say the sender not the Alice is not the one who sends the message. Okay, but in the second
Okay.
method, in the HMC, we are not doing this. We are not like locking or unlocking this hash. We are just generating the hash and we are just sharing the hash. That's it. Okay. So
Okay.
that is why there's a difference here. Okay. So we cannot show that like who sends the message. Okay. We are not using the public key or private key concept here. Like we are not locking the hash with the sender's public key, and we are not unlocking the hash with the sender's sorry. We are not locking the hash with the sender's public key, and we are not private key, sorry. And we are not unlocking the hash with the sender's public key. So there's no concept of public key or private key here. We are just generating the hash. Okay. Then we are combining algorithm. Now we can combine the algorithm, which is we can combine this HMAC with the symmetric algorithm, which is shared secret key. Okay, that we can
Okay,
do.
ma'am.
So
One
it is
doubt,
like
ma'am.
kind of
Okay. Ma'am, here any topic is there how we can create certificate, public certificate, private certificate like that? You will
yeah.
cover
We have
this
this
one?
topic, PKI. We have
PKI,
certificate
yeah.
authorities. We have generation and its destruction, and then we have certificate formats. We have this one.
Okay. Okay.
Then we are checking the lock. So when the receiver gets the message and the lock, they use the same key to check if the lock matches the message. If not, it means the message changed in transit. So we are using a concept here for locking. We are using this concept, which is same shared key. So in the first method, what we are doing, in the first method we are using a different key. But in this method, we are using the same key, which means if we have the hash, so we are now locking this hash with the same key. Okay. at the sender side, and we are unlocking this the hash with the same key at the receiver side with the same key. So there's no repudiation here, because there's a rule here that we cannot achieve non-repudiation with the help of shared secret key. We cannot achieve. We can only achieve the non-repudiation with the help of symmetric keys, which is public and private keys. Okay, so here we are not achieving the non-repudiation, and we are just checking the lock, and then this is just like a fast version of DS, but it is not as much secure as the original DS. Then we have this one standard. So digital signature standard, it is like the NIST specifies the digital signature algorithm acceptable for federal government using Federal Information Processing Standards 1864, also known as DSS. So like we have a document which is DSS, and it is approved by the NIST as well as the FIPS. So this document specifies that all federally approved DS algorithms must use the SHA-3 hashing algorithm. Means whatever the hashing, whatever the like standard, like whatever the wherever you are using the DSS, you must use the SHA-3 hashing functions, which includes these algorithms, these algorithms. Okay. So these are the currently approved standard encryption algorithm. So if you want to generate a DSS for your any kind of data or any for anything, then you have to use these three algorithms, like elliptic or IVIST, Shimmer, which is RSA only, and this DSA. So you can use these algorithms. Okay, basically SHA-3 algorithms, which is SHA-3 functions. Okay, like we cannot use MD5, we cannot use triple DES, we cannot use international DES, we cannot use that. We can only use these like algorithm for using, which can be used in the DSS. So this is what this DSS says, and which is approved by the NIST as well as FIPS. Then we have PKI, which is public key infra. So it is a framework that uses a combination of symmetric and asymmetric cryptography along with the digital certificates and hashing to ensure secure communication over the networks. So PKI is all about the certifications only. Okay. So they are all about the like digital certificates. So they are like the electronic IDs that vouch for the authenticity of a public key. When someone receives a certificate, they know that public key, it contains a genuine. Means whenever Alice shares the message to Bob, so let's say Bob receives a certificate. So now Bob can ensure that in this certificate, there's a public key of Alice, right? And there's some other fields in the certification which can ensure that the A is really sends the message. Also, we can also apply this in the software applications. Like we have Upsuit certification, we have ZAP certification, which we can upload in the browser so that we can use the browser and that application together securely. Okay. Then we have certificates are essentially signed copies of someone's public key. Now, so X.509 standard. Certificates follow a standard called X.509. They contain specific details. Now, these are the fields which is contained by these certifications. First, we will have the version. Okay, like which version of the standard the certificate follows. Okay, then we have serial number, which is a unique number assigned to the certificate. Then we have signature algorithm. This method is used to sign the certificate. Then we have issuer name, which is the organization who issued this certificate. Then validity, what is the validity period of this certification. Then we have subject's common name, the name of the certificate owner. Okay, then we have subject's public key, the actual public key that will be used for secure communication. Then we have extensions. So certificates is like we have like many extensions for the certifications, which holds the data formats. Extensions are like which holds the extra information of any which can be insert in the certificate. Okay, extra information like we can put to the APIs. Okay, we can put to the session IDs, etc. Now, what is the purpose of the certificate? like for what purpose can we like issued? For the computer machines, for the individual users, for the email addresses, and for the developers, which is for the applications. Okay. So these are the fields which are included in the certification, and which certificates X.509 standard certificates. Okay. And now here you can notice we have the issuer name here. Okay, the name of the organization that issued the certificate, and then we have the owner name. They can be different. Okay, how they can be different, that we will discuss later. Now we have wildcard certificates. Wildcard certificates are like, this is the sign of the wildcard, which is asterisk, which means they are valid for the multiple subdomains. For example, if we have put this one, abc.com. So here we have put this dot before the website. For example, we have this mail, Gmail dot Google dot. So Gmail is the subdomain of google.com, and Google has like many subdomains, like number of subdomains. So this asterisk means we are applying this certification to the entire subdomains of a particular website. Let's say abc.com. So this is means all. Okay, this sign means everything, all, which means they are valid for the multiple subdomains. Okay, for example, we have this example, which is certmy.com, which is all here. So this can be applied in every subdomain of this website, which is www, mail, secure, etc. Okay, then in PKI, certificate authorities play a crucial role. Like authorities are like who are allotting or who are issuing the certification, like who are behind this certification issuing process, which means we can say who is responsible for the signing, or who are the authorized user or authorized entity behind this certification. Okay, we should always take or sign the certification from the authorized parties. So they are trusted organization responsible for verifying the identities of the certificate holders. So let's say if I want to sign the certificate for my application, so I will take help for of these organization, which will sign my certificates. Okay. So for this, I have to provide my like identity. Okay, for signing the certification. So when you receive a certificate signed by the recognized CA, which is certificate authorities, you can trust that the public key it contains is legitimate. This system of trust forms a hierarchy, allowing secure communication between strangers. Okay, so PK ensures that data remains confidential, cannot be altered, unnoticed, okay, during transmission, and that the sender's identity is verified. So it is a complex but essential part of the modern secure communication system. So we are ensuring that confidentiality, integrity, non-reputation, and authenticity with the help of this PKI. Okay, first. Secondly is when we receive a certification from any like signed authority, okay, or any high level or recognized organization, then we can trust that certification itself. Okay, let's say if you are getting the certification from any unknown company, so how we can trust that? Okay, so that is why certificate authorities plays a crucial role here. Then we have the certificate authorities, so are vital in the public key infra, as they validate and issues digital certificates, which ensure the authenticity of public keys and secure communications. So this is the overview of how this CA works. So first we have this role of CA. So what are the roles and responsibilities of the CA? So first, they are neutral entities that notarize digital certificates, validating the identity of the certificate holder. Means they are the organization which are responsible for signing the certification. And how they sign? They first verify the certificate holder. Okay, who's the owner of the certificate? If the user is verified, if the product is verified, then we will sign. If the product is not verified, if the user is not verified, or if we don't have any like if we don't have any like proof that this user is verified or not, so we will not sign the certificate. Okay, and these are the trusted parties, okay, which is responsible for signing the certifications. Okay, So to obtain a certificate from a reputable CA, you must prove your identity to their satisfaction. So for this, you have to show your identity proofs. You have to show your company papers if you are like signing for any application. Okay, you have to show the mechanism of your application, like if like that application is malicious or not. Okay, like everything. So trust in CA is crucial. Certificates issued by a trusted CA are recognized and reliable. So browsers come pre-configured to trust well-known CAs. For example, Chrome. Chrome is a browser which come pre-configured to trust well-known CAs. And even we have the Firefox. For example, let me show you. Yeah. So when you open the settings here in the manage more settings, if you search for the certificates, then you will see view certificates. So these are the certificates, okay, which are signed, which are built in with the Firefox. Same as we have with the same as we have with this Chrome and other browsers. So these are the pre-built certifications. Okay. One certification which is not pre-built is let me show you that. For example, you are using any tool. Okay. For example, let's say okay, so we have this one. For example, we have this application. So how can I generate the certification for this application? Like we have the certification with this application. So if you want to check out, for example, you can click on import, like sorry, tools, and here we have this option of options. When you open this options, you can see here this dynamic SSL certificates, and you can click on import here. So just save here. See, and you can save somewhere wherever you want to save, and you can save here. Okay, now this is the example of the certification with the application. Now this is the certification of the Zap application, okay, which we have opened. Now you can upload this certification in the browser, in the Chrome browser or in the Firefox, whatever you are using, and you can start using the Chrome with the Zap. Okay, so this is the certification of that application. Okay, so where will we? Registration authorities. Then we have RA, which is assist CAs by verifying user identities before issuing certifications. So you can see that the CA are the head of this issuing the certification. Then we have the managers, which is registration authorities. They are responsible for verifying the user's entity, and if the user are verified, then they will ask the CA to sign the certification. Right. So they don't issue certification directly, but help in remote identity validation, making the certification process smoother. Okay. So that is like they are responsible for uh, verifying the identity. Then we have offline and online CAs. CAs protect their private key to maintain trust, often using an offline CA for the root certificate, top level certificate for of PKI. Okay, we have a top level certificate. Okay, for example, for this application, this is also the top level certificate. Okay, you can see here the valid form, you can see everything here. And here you can see we have to, this CA root certificate is not trusted. So to enable trust, we can install. So to enable trust, install this certificate in the trusted root certification authorities store. So we can simply install it. So I will do it later. So these are the top level like certifications. Okay. top level certifications. So the offline CA is disconnected and powered down, ensuring its security until needed. The offline CA creates intermediate CAs online for routine certificate insurance. Okay. So now we have this one. So we have the offline and online CAs. So once we have verified everything, then we can put that we can sign the CA. Okay, and second thing is we have the official CA, which is offline only. So to ensure the that security. And second, we have this online CA. Okay, which is like the middle part, which is the intermediate of the routine certificate in issuance. Okay, which is like same like we have just think of we have a head certification where we have which is offline only. Okay. And we have the intermediate certification, which is like the middle level certifications, which is like online only. Okay. So this is for routine, the certificate insurance. So first, the user have to verify the identity to this intermediate, and then they can move to offline sales. Then we have certificate chaining. So CA uses intermediate CAs for issuing certificate, creating a chain of trust. So browsers verify the identity of intermediate CA first and then trace the trust path back to a known root CA, ensuring a secure connection. So as you know, first we will verify the, as I said, we have to verify this intermediate CA and then we will move to the root CA, okay, which is offline only, okay, for the security purpose. So, and this is process is known as chain of trust. So first we have the CA. Okay, we have to we have to gain the trust of the intermediate CA, and then after having that intermediate CA, then we can trace the trust path back to the root CA, which is the top level certification PKI. Okay. So for the 101% security, like if we can fully ensure that, yeah, this is the verified source or this is the verified certificate. Then we have internal CAs. Organization can operate their internal CAs providing self-signed certification for internal use. Okay, so like some are these, whatever we have discussed, these are external certificate authorities, which means they are like we can say they are the organized organization which are typically work for signing the certification. Okay. Then we have internal. So for example, we have some application. Let's say we have any test application and we want to run any test application in our environment only. So for that, we don't need to, sign the certification officially. So for that, we can generate the internal certifications. We can sign the certification internally. Okay, so these certification won't be trusted by external browsers like Chrome or Firefox, but can be trusted within the organization's network. Okay, so we are just using the certification, which is internal signed certification inside the premises only. Okay, inside the organization's network only. So certificate authorities play a critical role in ensuring secure online communication by validating identities, issuing trusted certificates, and maintaining the integrity of a public key infra. Okay. So this is the CA concept. So in the CA, first we have the CA. Okay. Second, we have this registered CA, which is the registration authorities, which is the manager of the CA, which is working as a manager of the CA, which is they are the actual entities which is like verifying the user identities. If the user is verified, if they think that, yeah, this user is verified, then they will sign the certification using CA only. Okay. Then we have the online and offline CAs, and then we have this certificate chaining and internal CAs. Okay, which is the certification which is signed internally, which we cannot use with the external application, or we cannot use externally. If you are using the any internal CA, internal signed certification externally, then any browser or anyone will not trust it. Okay, because that is signed internally. That is fine within your organization, but cannot be used outside the organization. So for signing outside the organization, like for signing the external certificate, then you have to use these. You have to go to the CA, and these are the CA, which is certificates authorities. These are trusted authorities. Okay, this is also very trusted. I have used this one. And then we have generation. and destruction of certificates. So certificate generation and instructions. Enrollment. So first is we have enrollment. So to obtain a digital certificate, you must first prove your identity to the CA, right? Through a process called enrollment. Okay, that is simple. Then enrollment may involve physical appearance with identification documents or other verifications methods like credit card report or trusted community leaders. Okay. Third, we have after verifying your identity, you provide the CA with a certificate signing request containing a public key. Okay. After that, the CA then creates an X.509 certificate with your identifying information and public key, signs it using their private key, and provides you with the signed certification. And you can distribute to like for the secure communication. Now here you can notice certificate with your identifying information first and your public key, signs it using their private key and provides you with the signed certificate. And here you can notice in the X.509 standard, what do we need? Version, the serial number they will provide, the signature algorithm they will decide, the issuer name, okay, and the validity period and the CM, which is the owner of the certificate. So it can be you, okay, it is your name only. And who is the issuer? That is, let's say your issuer is Amazon Web Services, okay, because they are also the part of the CA. So now they can be Amazon. So in the name of the issuer, we have the Amazon Web Services, and validity period we have some. Then in the name of the certificate owner, that will be your name. Okay, and then that is your public key, which is your public key. Okay, so this is the enrollment process, which includes first you have to appear physically with your identification proofs, like your documents, your ID proof, your even your your if you are if you're like working in some other country, then you have to prove the other documents which are required in other countries. So it also vary from country to country, right? Also, like if you are the citizen of any country, then it is fine. But if you are the citizen of any other country, or if you have taken the citizenship in any other company, then you have to provide some other additional documents. Okay. Then, and some verification reports along with your financial details, any community leaders or any other details, like you also have to show the company details, like company documents, like if your company is verified or not. Okay, along with you have to also make sure that your company is also verified. So that is also necessary. After verifying your identity, you provide a CA with the certificate request. Now you will request for the certification signing. After that, if everything goes well, the CA will sign your certificate, including these details. First, your name, okay, your identifying name and your public key, and second, its own private key, and signs it, okay, with its own organization name. Okay, for example, I think we don't have any name here in the certificate. Now you can notice issued to and issued by. So we have this name. So ZAP is also here we get some details of this. Now here you can see you have the details of this certification. Version 3, serial number of this certification, signature algorithm, signature hash algorithm uses SHA-256, which is also the SHA-3. Okay, which comes under SHA-3 only. Okay, and we have issuer. Now these are the issuer. As I said, these are the issuer. OWASAP. So OWASAP is also the organization, okay, which signs the certification. Okay. Now this is the valid form and valid two. These are the details, validity details, and we have this subject. We have this public key. Okay. Now whose public key is this? So this is the public key of that certificate owner. Okay. Then
Okay.
we have this public key parameters, and we have some subject key identifier, some key usage where we can use and enhance key usage and basic constants, etc. Type CA and length null. Okay. So these are the information you can see. We have this and show all. If you want to see any other version 1, so this will show you. Okay. And this is the path of the certification. Okay. Now which is like this is not the main certification. This is the intermediate certification, and for like verified certification, you have to follow the path, which is you have to install from here, install certificate from here. So welcome to certificate import wizard. So we are the current user. Next, automatically select the certification store. Okay, we can click on next and then finish. The import was successful. Okay, we can close it. Now we can check it. Now this one is verified. But it is still not verified. Okay, no issue. We can verify as we have to use this certification in the browser. So that is why we have to verify in the browser only. That is different. Okay, now we have seen the practical of like what kind of information do we have in this certification.
Yeah,
So
now
now you
you
can
imported certificate, right, ma'am? Hello?
huh? Yes, yes.
Now you imported certificate into your PC only, right?
Yeah, in my PC only.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So these are the information we have seen like in the certification. So now you can see that this is X.509 standard. So like this is the basic standard, all the certifications follows. Okay, so this is enrollment. Then we have verification. So verification is, verification. To verify a received certificate, checks the CA digital signature using a CA public key. Ensure the certificate is not revoked by referring to certificate revocation list or online certification status protocol. So we have this protocol which is OCSP. So here we are ensuring that like here we have the list of you can say list of revoked certificate already or some fake certification. We can say that if your revoked certificate you have to match the certification with the list of this CRS. If the certification is matching with CRL, then we can say it is a fake certification. Okay, so we are ensuring that if the certification is fake or not, so we are verifying. So we have to check that the certification should not be in this particular list or in the OCSP portal. Okay, then making sure that the certification, sorry, the digital signatures of the CA is authentic. You trust the CA, the certification is not revoked, and the certificate contains accurate data because we have various reward certifications. Okay, so we can avoid this one. Like if we have the reward certificate, then we can just we can conclude that it can be the fake certification. So certification verification algorithms are built into browsers, but understanding the process is important for security judgments. So for the verification, for example, let me show you. If I use this one, the browser, if I upload certification inside my browser, so basically, it is already uploaded. It is already in the browser only. So the settings in the certificates. And if you click on import and you can select this one. So see certification is already installed. So let me check the name of the certification, which is OWASP. Okay, so let me show you how we can like after removing how we can add again. So that yeah, this one. You can see here, OWASP root CA. So let me remove this. Okay. Let me delete okay, this as well. Okay, you can say delete or distrust. Now we can click on import again. Now here you can see we have this option here that we're discussing, which is yeah, making sure that the digital signature of the CA is authentic. You trust the CA, the certification is not revoked. So that is what we are verifying here, that we are like trusting the CA to identify the websites, and we are trusting the CA to identify the email users. Means here we are just trusting the CA for whatever the purpose is. Okay, and we can also examine the CA certification. Now you can see we have all information of CA itself here. Okay. Even you can download this chain here. So this is the version, like all information of that certification.
Ma'am, why we are uploading that certificate into browser? For what purpose?
Because this application, which is ZEP, this
Hmm.
application, if you have to use with the browser only, like we
Okay.
have to use this application with the browser, because we have to
Okay.
make the request. This tool is used for scanning the vulnerabilities in the website, right?
Ah,
So for
okay,
that,
okay.
if we have to like scan the websites, so for that, with this tool, so we have to merge the websites with this tool. Okay, that is why we are uploading. So we will learn this one in the CEH, how to use this tool and what is the purpose and why are we uploading the certification. Okay, main purpose is that we can use the tools with the browser. Sorry, this tool with the browser, and whatever the browser, whatever the websites, whatever the mail addresses we are browsing in the browser, that will all goes to this tool. Okay, so that should be my website, whatever I'm scanning, whatever the emails I'm scanning, whatever the information I'm scanning, that should be secure. So that is why we are using that uploading the certification, so that my browser become comfortable with this application and start sharing the information to this application. That's fine. Okay. So we will use
Oh,
this application in the CEH later. Then we have
okay.
revocation. So certificates might need revocation due to compromise, erroneous insurance, changes in detail, or security association changes. So revocation request grace period is defined in the CPS, Certificate Practice Statement. Okay. So now techniques to verify authenticity and identify revoked certificates are: first, we have to look in the CRL. Second, we have to look in the OCSP. So revoked certificates are like the certificates which are compromised, which are compromised, which are duplicate, we can say, which have some changes, change in details, or we can say some fake details, etc. So those are reward certificate. So now if you are uploading any certification, or if you're using any certification, you have to check whether this certificate is revoked or not. If it is not, then you can trust. If it is, then you cannot trust. Okay. So how you can verify? You can verify using CRL, which is certificates revocation list. So list revoked certificates, but introduce latency as they need periodic downloading and cross-referencing. Okay, which is like we have a list of the some revoked certification, and then we are matching this. Okay, so then we have this one online OCSP, which is like real-time verification by sending OCSP request to CS server, providing valid, invalid, or unknown status. Okay, we are uploading the certificate to this platform OCSP, and then we are verifying if the certification is valid, invalid, or unknown status. Then we have unknown status means we cannot ensure, we are not confirmed. Okay, whether the certification is verified or not. If invalid and unknown status are same only, if we are not able to verify the certification, that also it becomes invalid. And if the certification is invalid also, then it is also invalid. Like that is same. Okay, invalid or unknown status are same. If we are not able to identify the status of the certificate, if it is verified or not, if it is valid or not, so how we can say that certification is valid? Okay, so it is only called invalid. Certificate stapling, which is like relieves OCSP server burden by attaching a recent OCSP response to certificates, reducing latency in server load. So there's a concept of stapling, in which we are putting a OCSP response to the certificates, so that we can easily verify it without uploading the certificates on the OCSP platform or OCSP servers. Okay. So that OCSP response will directly check if the certification is verified or not without even uploading on the server. So which will reduce the latency and server load. Okay, that is known as service certificate stapling, which is we are additionally adding OCSP response to certificates. Okay, response is this one, whether the certificate is valid, invalid, or unknown. So certificate authorities plays a crucial role in certificate assurance. validation and revocation, ensuring secure and trustworthy communication in the digital era. So that is the like what we can say, formation or creation of the certification, which is first enrollment, second verification, third revocation. Okay. So in the enrollment, we are like signing the certification. In the verification, we are verifying the certification. In the revocation, we are verifying that if the certification is valid, invalid, or fake, or if the certification is contains any compromised details. Is it a fake certification, or is it a duplicate certification of any other company? So that we are checking. Okay, is it clear this much?
Yeah, clear, ma'am.
Then we have certificate formats. So we have different formats of certification. For example, we have this format which is CER, okay, which is security certificate. So we have different formats of certification, like we have CER, we have CRT, and we have DER, which is binary format commonly stored in files. Okay. So if you so used for example, if we have this one, if you open this one in the notepad, you can see this is a raw format of a certification that is about binary. Okay, so this is the certification. So it is in the raw format. It is like a PGP key of your certification, but it is working in a binary format. So used for certificates and other structured data and non-readable due to binary nature. For example, 0101, this is the binaries. So we have this nature. But this certification is readable, okay, because it is a software certification. That is why it is readable. Okay, and you cannot read, you are not actually reading the certification, you are just reading the key of the certification. That's it. Okay. Then we have PEM, which is privacy enhanced way. So ASCII test version of the DER format. Okay, for example, we have this DER in the binary format, same as we have DER in the ASCII format, which is human readable. So it's stored in files with .pem and .crt extensions. So we have another form of certification, which is PEM. So this is human readable. Then we have personal information exchange, or P12, which is commonly used on Windows system and can be stored in binary form and used for storing private keys and associate certificates. Okay, so we have some Windows certificates as well. So this is responsible for storing the private keys as well as that Windows certifications. Okay, then we have P7. Please remember these names. These are important for the examination. Okay. Then we have P7B, which is like a test, ASCII test format used on Windows system. These are human readable. So often used for the intermediate and root certificates, contain certificates and certificates change. They are also a certain kind of extensions. So it is important to note that file extensions doesn't always indicate the format. So you may need to examine the contents of the file to determine its actual format. Okay. Different systems and applications. Different systems and applications may prefer certain formats. So choosing the right format for compatibility is essential when working with digital signatures. See this certification, which is this one. When we right click and when we open this certification using Notepad, so this is which certification? This is basically not this first one certification. It is second one format, which is privacy enhanced mail, because it is in a human readable form. Like at least you can read this content, like begin certificate. This is a PGP key and this is end certificate. So this is in a human readable format. So this is a second kind of certification, format certification, which is PEM, which stands for like privacy enhanced mail. So these are some formats, okay, which we like use in the certifications, like the extensions of the certifications. So that is why at first time I think that this certification which we have opened, it is of this type, which is DER. But when I open this, we can we can able to read it. So that is a PEM certification because it is human readable. Okay. So that is why it is saying that file extension doesn't always indicate the format of the certification. You have to open the certification and read it. If you can able to read, then it is a human readable. If you can not able to read, then it is in a binary format. If it is binary, then it is DER with these extensions. If you can read, then it is PEM with these extensions. Okay, and then if we have Windows certification, which you cannot read, then they can be PFX or P12. If there's a Windows certification, which we can read, like which are stored in the Windows system, which we can read, that is P7B. Okay, so two certification categories, binary and human readable format. In the human readable, we have AXCIE test. Okay. So that is certificates format. Then we have some best practice for asymmetric key management. So we have already discussed this. So just we will take a recap here. Okay. So choose a secure encryption systems.
Yeah,
So
ma'am, one doubt, ma'am.
yes.
Yeah, go little up, ma'am. Then what is the difference, ma'am? There is no specific difference, right? Example, difference between BEM and PFX. Difference one is this readable format, non-readable format. This is the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, that is the difference. Also, like what is the purpose of that certification? For example,
That
for the
depends on
PFX,
end system, right? That depends on system. Example, what we are using, computer or
yeah,
any
yeah,
other
that
device
also
we are
depends on
using.
the system. Exactly, exactly.
Other than that, any other, there is no difference, right? Example, that
Yeah, but
format, hashing.
yeah, but there's a difference here in the PFX. For example, in the PFX kind of certification, you are storing the private keys and associate certificates. Okay, but
Okay.
it cannot be like we can say it may or it may not be root or intermediate certification. For example, for the P7B, basically we don't have any specific difference. It is all about choices, what choices you are making and what is the purpose of our certification. Like what
Okay.
is it generally generated for? Otherwise, like it is like all about the best choice. Okay, and it's just to have the difference in like what kind of formats we have and which format we can read and which format we cannot read. Okay, and what kind of entities we can store in a certification. For example, in the PFX, we can store private keys and associate certificates, which can be your root certificates, also which can be your intermediate certificates also. But in the P7B, I have mentioned that we can often mainly use for storing the root and intermediate certification. So we often use P71, like in most of the cases. So that is the difference. Okay. Otherwise, we don't have any universal difference that we actually identify one form to another, except that readable or unreadable. Otherwise, it's all about where we are using and for what purpose we are generating the certification.
Okay.
So we have asymmetric key management, which is like first we have choose a secure encryption system. So select a well-established encryption system with a publicly vetted algorithm. Avoid system that claims security solely through the opacity of their algorithm. So basically, it's all about choosing a right encryption system, which is what kind of algorithm we are using. So always choose a like latest algorithm. Okay, and also depends on where you are implementing the algorithm. Okay. Second, we have used strong and random keys. So always use the strong keys. So longer the keys, stronger the keys are. Like if the length of the keys are long, so the stronger the keys are. Like we can say that if the length of the keys are long, then we can say it is like it will take more time for any attacker to brute force the keys because the formula implies n power of that key size. Okay. So there it is, use random keys and strong keys. Okay, avoid the weak keys and also it depends on the where you are putting the keys, like where you are using the keys. If your system is powerful, then you can use the strong keys. Okay, and if your system is weak, then you can use some short keys. So that also depends on the system. Then protect the private key. That is important. We have to protect the private key. So it is all about protecting the private key, not the method. Okay. Because in the Kirchhoff principle, we have discussed that it is important to, where is it?
Fingerprint, right? For logging.
Yeah. So it is important to just hide your key, not the method of encrypting the, which
Okay.
is like the way you lock the door should be public, but the key for unlocking should be secret. So you have to hide the keys. Yeah. Then we have keys rotation and retirement. That is important. If we are using whatever we are using, asymmetric or symmetric, we have to keep on rotating the key and we have to keep on destroying the keys or retire the key so that we can generate new keys. And no let's say if any user like left the group, so they may we have to change the key at that time also. So that is key rotation we can perform, key retirement we can perform, key destruction we can perform. Okay. So regularly rotate keys to mitigate the risk of undetected key compromise. So we can regularly rotate. So it depends on the on the like where you are rotating. Okay, if the number of keys are many, like large, then we cannot rotate every day, right? Then we have key backups. We have to keep on backuping the key. We have to follow this key escrow. Key escrow is we are dividing the keys in multiple parts and sharing to different users, right? Like different organization. And when we want to use the key, we are like merging all the keys parts together and using the keys. So for this, individual part of the key are of no use. That is key escrow, or we can say key splitting the knowledge. Okay. So hardware and security modules, which is like hardware devices that securely store and manage encryption keys. Okay, HSMs are very important topic for the examination. So this is the part of the hardware and physical security that we will discuss later. But for now, these are the points you can remember. So these we have already discussed. Now we have cryptography attacks. So we have like many attacks in the cryptography. First is very famous, which is brute force, which is like we are trying every possible key until finding the correct one. So in the brute force, there's a chances of 50-50. So we are not giving the surety that we are 1% find the key or brute force the password. Okay, so it is like a, we can say, it is like a hit and trial method. Then we have effective against weak keys or short keys. So if your keys are short, if your password length are short, so we can easily brute force. So what are the countermeasures? Use longer keys and making brute force impractical, which is how we can make brute force impractical. You can put number of attempts. Let's say after 3 attempts, you can block the IP address, right? After you can also apply the two-step verification in some part. Okay, etc. Like you can apply multi-factor authentication. Okay, if the user manages to brute force a key or password, but there's another security which is waiting for him. Okay, to then what the attacker will do. Okay, so it is also like 50-50. Like if the attacker able to bypass the OTP or bypass the multi-factor authentication or not. But we can apply another layer of security after the login password or after any authentication mechanism. Then we have frequency analysis, identifying the patterns in encrypted messages to deduce the encryption method, which is like finding the patterns. For example, in the first part of cryptography, we have discussed about these historical cryptography like substitution cipher, polyalphabetic. So here there's a chances of pattern guessing. Like any user can guess the pattern. For example, the if you use this rotate cipher 13, sorry, rotate 13 cipher, which is you're rotating the A to the right 13 places, which is A becomes P, okay, or A, B, C, D like this. So here the attacker can guess the rotation. Okay, like it can be 13, it can be 12. So here we are guessing. So in the historical cryptography, we have the threat of frequency analysis, which is pattern guessing. But in the modern cryptography, we don't have that method. Like we cannot guess any pattern because we are using the algorithms. Known plain text. So attacker processing pairs of known plain text and corresponding cipher text, which is we have discussed the hashing, the rainbow table. So that is all about this one. Okay, like we have the hashing and we have the hash. Let's say we have the password and we have the for each and every password we have the corresponding hash. So now we have the matching the hash with the hash we have got from any user. And if the hashes are matches, then we have the password, right? So this we have already discussed, which is rainbow table. Then choosing the plain text, attacker selects plain text for encryption and analyze corresponding cipher text. So it is also same. Okay. Then we have related keys attack. Attacker processes cipher text encrypted under two different keys. Okay, which is like ensuring algorithms are not vulnerable to related key attacks, which is like we are applying the key attacks. For example, if your algorithm is vulnerable to anything, then we can apply the key attack there and we can find the key on the basis of that vulnerability which is inside algorithm. So keep on updating the algorithm or keep on using the latest algorithm. Then we have birthday attack, which is like exploiting the probability of collision in the cryptographic hashes. That we have also discussed. Okay, collision and how we can avoid collision using salting. Okay. Then we have downgrade attack, which is like forcing a shift to less secure cryptographic modes in secure communication protocols. Okay, which is like let's say you are using any uh, outdated SSL version or SSL certificate. That is a kind of downgrade attack. Okay. Then we have rainbow table and hashing. This is also we have discussed. Okay. Exploiting the weak keys, which is like if you have the weak key or if you have the short key, we can easily exploit it. Exploiting the human error, which is like we can perform the social engineering. We can like find the human error. We can use the weak algorithm which the human has selected for their passwords or their keys, etc. Okay. So these are some cryptographic attacks we have. Then we have last, which is emerging issues in cryptography, which is like we have what kind of emerging issues we have seen from the past to until now. So first we have the issue with the Tor and dark web that we have discussed. Okay. So Tor enables anonymous internal browsing and hosting on the dark surface. So also you can find the vulnerabilities in the Tor browser, like sorry, in the Tor, in the dark web for any algorithm. Okay, you can find the keys, you can find the rainbow table, you can find the hashes, latest passwords in the dark web, which can be used for for cracking. Also uses perfect forward secrecy and relay nodes to maintain anonymity. Okay. So basically Tor browser uses the onion like Tor browser is also known as onion browser, which uses relays of security. Okay, that we will discuss in the CEH. But for now, Tor browser is like can the issue for the cryptography. Then we have blockchains, which is like distributed and immutable public ledger used in cryptocurrencies like bitcoins. So blockchains are also the new technologies, which is like keep on updating day by day. So it prevents the tampering with records and enables decentralized transactions. Okay, which is like blockchain is a concept like this one. For example, blockchain is like each and every chain is connected with each other. So if there's a modification in one chain, so there's also the modification made in the second chain. So if let's say the attacker made the modification here, so now the next chain will not match because the next chain is dependent on the first chain, let's say. So for this, attacker has to like modify this chain also, this chain also, this chain also, and every chain in the blockchain. So that is not possible for the attacker. That is why it is a like perfect way for using the bitcoins. Also, there's a method of decentralized transaction, which is like they are using the decentralized, means they are not storing the data at one place. They are storing the data at multiple places. Okay, which made attacker like which is hard for the attacker to find the like to find the password or to use the data. Then potential application in various industries like property ownership, supply chain tracking, and more. So we can also use blockchain there. Then we have lightweight cryptography, which is like specialized cryptography algorithm designed for low power environments. Okay, like you can use lightweight. Let's say if I don't have the powerful computer, then I can use lightweight cryptography. Okay. Used in scenario with limited computing power like energy, such as remote sensors and smart cards, like this. High resilience and low latency and energy efficient encryption solutions are developed for specific use cases. So it depends on what kind of use case you have. In that way, we have to develop this lightweight cryptography for each and every scenario. Okay. So now we have homomorphic encryption, which is like allows computational on encrypted data without decrypting it. Okay, which is they are irreversible. So preserves privacy while performing calculations on sensitive data and enables applications where privacy is crucial, such as medical and financial sector. So we can also use this one where we cannot decrypt the data. So it is same like hashing, but it is not hashing. Okay, it is not hashing. It is same like hashing, which is hashes are irreversible. So also we cannot reverse this. That we cannot convert the encrypted data into decrypt form. Okay, so that we can ensure the efficiency of the data, we are ensuring the privacy of the data. And also we can preserve privacy while the mathematical complex calculation. And we can use in medical and financial sectors. Then we have last quantum computing, which is like has a potential to break current cryptographic algorithm based on prime factorization. For example, it can break latest like algorithm also like SHA-256, SHA-512, and also AES, etc. Even RSA as well. Okay. So quantum computers are very powerful. Okay. And we have only two quantum computers in the world, which is only owned by Google. Okay. We don't have any quantum computer right now. Okay. Like user cannot access that computer. But yeah, you can use the quantum computing technology for free, like for some trial period. Okay. Like if you want to use quantum computers, if you want to see the case scenario, then you can like use that for a like trial version. Okay. So quantum cryptography might provide more secure alternatives to current encryption method. So one way is quantum computing can able to break the current cryptographic algorithm, and second way is we can use that for creating the more powerful algorithms. Okay, so that no one can break it because the algorithm which we are making using quantum cryptography are more powerful than the ordinary ones. Okay. Like quantum computing's impact on cryptography is still theoretical and requires further development. Okay, so like further development is like many like analysts are working on this quantum computers, researchers and analysts to make this theoretical concept uh, like uh, like possible. Okay, so this is all about the cryptography, and finally we have completed this chapter. So it is a very long chapter, but it is a one second. Okay, so this is the I think the largest chapter in the CompTIA syllabus. And finally, we have completed, and it is also very important. Okay, so we have to revise the entire chapter. And is there anything you want to ask up to here?
No, ma'am, I will revise once, then I will ask if I have any doubt.
So let's do one thing. Let's wrap the
Hmm.
session here for now. Uh,
Okay.
can you like connect tomorrow at um 2 2 p.m. IST? Like you can check your time if you are available at 2 p.m. IST for just for 3 hours only.
No, ma'am. Tomorrow I have to go site, ma'am. I have work tomorrow.
Okay, okay. Means you are available at 9 only, no?
Yeah, 9 I will be available. Next week, night, daytime also I can available. Not daytime. That weekdays I can available, ma'am. If you want.
Weekdays. Actually, we cannot, cover like we have like difficulty in covering the each and every concept in 1 hour. That is why I've shifted the timing
Yeah, yeah.
from 2 to 3 hours,
Okay.
so that we can
Hmm.
speedily complete the syllabus. Like we can complete each and the, like each part. in one day, or 2 parts of a particular domain in one day, like this. Okay. But
Okay.
for now,
Normally
let's
I
wrap
have
the session.
uh, yeah, normally I have Saturday, Sunday holiday only, but tomorrow I have to go. I have one work is there in my office.
Okay, okay. No issue, no issue. Tomorrow we
Mm.
can connect at 9 p.m. Okay.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
same time. Okay.
Yeah.
So for
Okay.
now,
Mm.
let's wrap here, and I will share the recording sessions. So I think we have 4 recorded sessions for the crypto, 4 to 5. So you can
Yeah.
watch the entire recorded session when you will free, and then I will like send the questions of the cryptography. Okay, so that you can like
Okay.
practice on that questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow, what is the session, ma'am? Which session we will cover tomorrow?
Tomorrow we will
Which,
cover the forensics
okay.
and incident response and some standards. So we will
Yeah. Okay.
cover these 3 concepts together. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Mm. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.